All right, this is the recipe for Souboureg, which is a delicious Armenian side dish, or it can be used as an entree, a main dish. It's made with cheese, and it's made with noodle dough that you knead by hand for 15 minutes. You begin with approximately 4 to 4.5 cups of unsifted gold medal all-purpose flour, and you put that flour into a bowl or a pan like this and make a well in the center of your pan, and in that well,
you have to put the salt in there too.
A pinch of salt. Let's put in a teaspoon of salt. Mix it carefully into that 4.5 cups of unsifted flour. Make a well and break 5 eggs into the middle of that well. Break the egg yolks and start stirring these eggs. And as you stir, you are mixing up the eggs and the flour into the egg mixture. Keep stirring until all the flour has been mixed into the egg yolks. After you have the flour mixed in, you will knead this dough with 1/4 cup of olive oil.
Ya sen gohemece şahı adam pançiyalar. Gedeni ve tapesas bunu yedin bolur tapa bol.
She doesn't approve of the way I'm doing it because I'm using a spoon. Okay, I will put my hands in it and mix it by hand. That's the way she wanted me to do it. Okay. I forgot to take my ring off. Did I put too much flour?
Too much flour.
How many? Should I add another egg? You wouldn't do it. You didn't cooperate, so I had to do it.
Why did you do it? I said you're going to put three cups of.
I did. That's
tea.
3 cups. That's 3. That's 3.
No, that's not 3 teaspoons. Cups of
Oh, well, I've got too much flour in here. Okay. Just wait a minute. I will take some of the flour out. It won't be hard. Just a minute. I will take some of the flour out.
Oh, dear Lord, give me patience, Lord.
We have 3 cups of flour and 5 eggs, and we're kneading them after we made the well. Do you have that part? Okay. Now what you do is dip your hands into the 1/4 cup of olive oil, which you have in a little bowl at the side, and work it into the dough, carefully kneading it as you go. Don't wear a ring. If you wear a ring, you're going to have a mess on your hands. Okay, try to get a chair in here, honey. And it takes about 15 minutes of kneading like this. Do you see how I'm dipping my hand into the olive oil?
Don't do too much olive oil. You're doing too much olive oil. Açınız, şağı işte this.
So you just keep kneading it. She said you don't need all that olive oil. You just need a little bit until it looks like that.
Şağı.
And you knead it and knead it and knead it for 15 minutes. You've got enough olive oil in here now so that your mixture begins to look a little bit like Play-Doh.
Tepenar paklavayı bana gerek şamak neldi birinci.
Well, Mother, that's okay.
That's okay, but the rest of them is left.
Okay. And clean off your fingers every once in a while because and then if if the dough is sticky, then you can just sort of dip your fingers in the olive oil again just to get the stickiness. So that when you knead, the dough doesn't stick to your wrist as you knead it. Now after you've kneaded the dough, you separate this dough into 8 small balls.
7.
7 small balls. You used to do 8.
No.
Okay, 7 now. 7 balls of dough, equal amounts. And then, this isn't ready yet, see? You've got to keep kneading it until it gets very, very elastic. But already, it's coming to the place where it feels pretty good. Like soft baby. Or your earlobe. You feel your earlobe and then you feel this and it feels soft like that. My mother is now, after you make your 7 small balls of dough, using up all the balls. Yeah, here they are. You set it in plastic on a pan. Now she's got several layers of toweling here. And
they should never dry.
And you don't want the dough to dry out. The dough has to be very, very soft, and you can see how soft and how tender it is, almost like a baby's earlobe. So I'm holding it up too high. Here you are. You can just see how nice, and see how when I touch it, it just feels so soft. That's covered with plastic and then covered with another tea towel and then set to rest for at least an hour.
Saran wrap, Abby, saran wrap.
Saran wrap, I mean. What did I say? Plastic? Saran wrap, okay. And then you cover it with a towel and let it rest for how long, Mom? 2 hours, 1 hour?
Yeah.
2 hours? It doesn't really matter how long, but it's got to rest for at least 1 hour. And then, after it has rested, then you take each ball and you roll it out. Now you can watch her as she rolls these out because this is a trick. It's not easy to do.
See, this stay too long.
Mm-hmm. We were making the baklava while the Souboureg dough was resting, and it took too long to get the baklava finished. And so she says now that the dough has rested too long, so you don't want it to rest more than an hour or an hour and a half. I would say, don't you think? Hour and a half is plenty?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So she puts a little flour on the board, rolls the dough out, until she gets this size right here. Then she picks it up with her fingers and begins stretching from the edges. And as she stretches it, because it's been kneaded, you see, and rested, the dough is so elastic that it just stretches out between her fingers.
You have to cover in things.
Yeah, we'll show them as soon as you finish that. Because she has 8 of these. Now she's pulling them
7.
from the center.
7.
7, all right, 7. I keep saying 8. Now she takes her fingers and goes from the center and starts drawing it out from the center until she has a very large sheet. Now every once in a while she'll get a little teeny tiny hole, but that doesn't matter. Then she brings it over here, and can you What shall I do? Go over here? Can I pull this out here a little bit? I want to show here on the camera how she pulls it sets it on a chair, on a tea towel, and then covers it. So this circle is almost as large as the seat of this kitchen chair, and covers it with a tea towel. And you do that for every single layer. So this is a tricky part of making the Souboureg, and so you'll want to watch this carefully as she rolls out this third ball. This is the third one now that she's putting on her board, sprinkling it with a little flour, patting it out with her fingers. Now I'm still working on this dough that we started out with. Of course, she had hers made up. And this is how it looks. See how elastic it's become because I've been kneading it so much? Very soft and very elastic. I still have a little ways to go. And every once in a while I dip my fingers in this little bowl of olive oil. Now Mother's rolling out this dough again. Stretching it with her fingers from the edges. Start with the edges first and gently work it without tearing it until you've pulled it into a larger circle. You go around about 2 times all the way around with your fingers, and just the weight of the dough starts stretching it out, and then she goes and she pulls it from the center out and starts making these large sheets, which she lays on the tea towel and then covers it with another tea towel. So here she is now. She's got this one that she's stretches it out until it's almost tissue paper thin. It's so nice, a big circle of noodle dough, egg dough. So that's layer number 3, which she covers with a towel so it doesn't get too dry. And now she's
Then you
going
have
over
to tell
here.
about the boiling water.
Well, we're not there yet. She has on the stove a big pan of water which is boiling, and she's going to... It's all right. She thinks that the dough is darkened too much.
What's the water for?
The water is, she's going to pick up every one of these
This
layers,
has to be
drop them
boiled in the hot water.
in boiling water, yeah, and cooked, then dried with a towel.
I'm telling you, you don't believe me, do you?
Oh. She says now this is done. How do you know it's done? Because does that look good?
How many minutes you been doing it?
I don't know. The whole time I've been talking. It's fun. I like it.
Grandma,
Okay, this is done.
Grandma,
Yes.
would you tell us a joke?
Yeah, she's feeling better now.
Tell us about the.
She thought she was going to have to start from scratch doing this.
Tell us a joke.
Can
Tell
you
us your
think of a
favorite
joke? Tell the time that you first made Souboureg in your life. Did you ever make it before?
Araxivanian told me how to make Souboureg. She says, "Hamor shad jir bidallah." He says, you have to make the dough so hard. I can't roll it. It's so hard. You just can't roll it. So next time I made it, I said I'm going to do it the way
I think
I think. So it's okay. I made the next time I made real good.
Well, every time you make Souboureg, Mom, it is real good.
See, when you shot şahıs ne? Çürüm beçen çi badrir arek geller.
If you knead it a lot, it gets more elastic.
Sen Rozan
All right,
en
now
çap
here-
Souboureg gira or kipenegam.
No, she loved it.
İşte she ate so many. She says çorsing jangarne. She says Souboureg şimdi boloro.
Okay, we've got 3 more layers here to do yet. You want to watch as she covers that. right, Mother has 1/4 pound of melted butter on the stove, and then she's got a big pan of boiling water, which she takes one of these sheets that she just opened up, and she drops it in the boiling water.
And this boiling water had a whole big bunch of salt.
And salt, yes.
Yes.
About what, 1/4 cup of salt?
A whole handful.
That's a 1/2 cup maybe. A handful of salt. I didn't see her do the salt.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
full.
yeah, I know. It's salted water, about a handful of salt into this big pot of boiling water. Now it's boiling and she's gently,
Then you have the cold water here.
a pan of cold water right next to it. Now she gently taps it while it cooks in there for just a minute. 1 minute is about all it takes. And when the water comes to a boil again, because
Yeah.
it cooled off a little, you see, when she put the dough in,
It's boiling.
and when it comes to a boil again, then she lifts it out and puts it in the cold water. And she, with her hands, washes it a little bit in the cold water, lifts it out of the water, drains it a little bit, and then lays it on this tea towel here. It's a large bath towel, actually.
That one.
It's a bath towel. Spreads it out and dries it off with the bottom half. Pats it dry.
Doesn't have to be too dry, then Melody.
All right. All right. Now she has a greased baking cookie sheet that's got a large-sized cookie sheet here that she's laying the.
Get the cheese and the parsley
It's
out.
all, yeah, that's right. Now, do you put it on the 3rd layer or the 4th layer?
3.
We have 1 pound of grated cheese here.
No,
Coarsely
it's 2
grated.
pounds.
I mean 2 pounds, I'm sorry. 2 pounds of grated cheese and 1 cup of chopped parsley, which I'm going to put
And mix
the
it.
chopped parsley in the cheese.
What kind of cheese?
Jack cheese.
Monterey Jack cheese.
Monterey Jack. And we're going to mix the parsley into this. You can see it's coarsely grated. It's
What's she doing?
to be stirred in. And now when she lays this layer of cooked noodle dough that's been spread very thin on the cookie sheet, she pats a layer of butter, the melted butter, with a spoon and kind of spreads it. Doesn't cover it. Doesn't look like it's all covered, but it's sort of spotted with butter and then rubbed into the layer.
See how this is cooking?
Now it's boiling, and she just dropped in layer number 2 into the hot boiling water. She's going to take it out of the boiling water and put it in the cold water. Wash it in the cold water and dry it on the bath towel.
Cold. You have to put in cold water because they don't stick. That's the reason, you know.
Right,
If they're hot, they stick together.
right. Now you notice when she laid that down in the pan, she left these edges hang. Right here. She's going to fold those in later. She's working on her 3rd layer now. While she's drying this, usually I help her do this, but I'll
But
come
you
over.
have to talk.
Oh, you want me to talk? No, I'll come over here and help you with the hot water. All right, now she picks up the towel and lays it on the cookie sheet. Of course, this is just a cookie sheet that has a rim. And then when you pull the towel off, then the layer rests on the cookie sheet. Now we've got another one going here. It's almost ready to take out. You want me to take it out? Okay. All right. She wants me to pat it down into the boiling water.
We can't see.
Okay.
Okay, she's putting some butter on this. Every layer has to be buttered with a little butter from the melted butter that she has here. She butters each layer slowly.
Too much.
Isn't that nice?
See, when I find
Out
out
of the
when you knead the dough too much, Melody, it never breaks.
That's why you knead the dough at the start. You saw me doing what she had already done. We didn't get that on tape. But
This
when you knead
churutape-
it 15 minutes...
Churutape is not cold.
Okay, churutape means dump out that cold water and get more cold water. Because of course, when you keep dropping the sheets of boiling water into the cold water, then the water gets warm. Okay, she's putting the cheese on the third layer. She has 3 layers on the sheet. And this is the cheese and parsley mixture, which she's spreading carefully out over the 3rd layer. And you notice how the layers are sort of draped over her.
I'm going to turn this
She's
on.
going to show you what she's going to do with these edges now. But she's spreading it all out carefully.
Actually, he will pound it. I really some can get with the Melody.
No, it was exactly 2 pounds. She brings the layers over the cheese that have draped on the outside of the pan. And then sometimes she'll tear off an edge and put it in the middle. I'm watching it.
Hiding kahvesi nasi it would have been good for her.
You know, this one tore.
That's all right. Don't hurt Melody. Okay.
If you're,
I don't like
this is very interesting.
No, daha bekliyor.
Well, we're going to piece this one because as we're taking it out of the hot water, it tore. It was too thin in the middle, and this might happen. So don't let that bother you. We're going to piece it together on the towel and then lay it down on the table here so you can watch it. She's lifting the pieces out of the... You want me to show you here how she has folded the layers in over the cheese, and now she's going to put another layer, the last 4 layers she's going to put here, putting butter on each of the 4 layers. Shall I drop the one in the hot water for you?
All right.
Okay.
Give me the towel, Melody. Has over dat betrkzeci rečima?
No, I'll do it.
I think this is pretty good. I'm going to keep this for
Okay, I'm dotting this with butter, this layer here, and kind of spreading it out with my spoon. All of it doesn't have to be covered, but each layer should have a sprinkling and a coat, quick coat of butter.
But I got that one.
Do it right here, honey.
Then
It
I
shows
did
better.
too. Is he going to
Yes,
do it now?
yeah, go on, put it
No,
on.
no, I'm going to keep this for the pan.
Oh, I see, you want to put it on the board. All right, she has one here that she wants to use on top because there are no holes in it. And that's why
Okay,
she's
you
putting
put-
it on the board.
Okay. There's only one left.
No, I think you have two left. Okay, she's putting on next to the last layer now. She's still got another layer here, I think, that has to be dropped in the boiling water. So that's what she's doing.
Sure, see, that's dry very.
Got a little dry, but that's okay. It'll get wet in the boiling water, right? Now, she changed her towel halfway through.
I need hot, cold water now.
Okay, I'll get you some cold water.
Yes.
So you're tucking it underneath.
Yeah, she's tucking it underneath. Making a neat package out of her layers so that it fits into the pan, because of course her sheets are stretched out so wide that they go a little bit beyond the pan, and so she sometimes tears off a corner and lays it in the middle, or sometimes she tucks it underneath. But 3 layers of the noodle dough that's been boiled and then stewed in the cold water, and then the grated cheese and parsley, and then 4 layers with the butter sprinkled on each layer. Okay, now we're almost to the very last. We're drying off the last, is this the last layer here? Yeah. Drying it off. And we changed the towel once because the other towel got a little too wet. So we got another towel. Yep, layers down there. And we're drying this one off. I will put, yes, I will put the butter, yes, that's right. Dry set.
Dry pan colore roș, dar tine macul mă.
Okay. Now she wants the clear butter, so I'm using some of the foam that's on top of the butter. It doesn't hurt anything to have it on these inside layers. So we're just putting a little bit of the butter on there, all set. Here she is, ready to put the last layer on.
Okay.
Next to the last layer. With the towel, and then lift the towel off, and there it is. See, isn't that a neat trick? And tuck it in like you would tuck your kid in bed. Little tear there, but that doesn't matter. Just fold it over. And that beautiful dough, doesn't that look nice? Leave a few wrinkles here and there for character, see? When you get old, the wrinkles give you character. Well, the wrinkles give the Souboureg a lot of character. Butter, yes.
It says I like to have a lot on top.
I know. I will save you lots of the butter. This is 1/4 pound of butter that we're using for the whole sheet of Souboureg. So what we have to do is put just a little bit so we have lots of butter to go on top. For her last layer, she wants a lot of butter. Okay, now she's ready to put her last layer on. Nice, thin, completely
I have to
whole.
have water.
Now she's brought the pan of cold water over here, and she's going to use water on her fingers because otherwise
It'll stick.
it will stick. This layer here has been resting a while and gotten a little too dry, so she wants to put a little water on her fingers so they don't stick as she handles the dough. Tucks it all in carefully, like you would tuck in a blanket. And then she will put the butter on this top layer too, all the rest of the butter, except of course for the cream that's settled at the bottom. Okay. Now we have preheated the oven at 400 degrees, so as soon as this step is over with the butter, we're going to cut it into squares and put it in the oven and bake it. And it bakes for how long? Half hour?
1 hour.
1 hour. Oh. At 350?
400, about 1 hour.
She's using her fingers now to put the butter on the top layer.
Give me the knife.
It's right there.
Okay. Thank you, Tux.
So you can just see the butter standing on this top layer. It's just loaded with calories, unfortunately. That's why it tastes so good.
You can't.
But this big tray of Souboureg will serve lots of people. If you eat only one piece, it'll serve 24 people, and if you eat 2 pieces, it'll serve 12 people. No, if you eat 1 piece, it will serve, you get 24 pieces about. How does she cut it up? I don't know. 12 people can get 2 pieces. You can't stop with 1 piece. You have to have at least 2. Okay, now she's cutting it into squares. And the squares are about 3 inches. I mean, the cuts are about 3 inches apart. Looks pretty even to me. And turn it. So you're making about what? 3.5 inch. 3 to 3.5 inch cuts. 3.5 inch intervals down the cookie sheet. So each square of Souboureg is about
You can't cook
3
it.
inches square. You can make them bigger or smaller.
That doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But these squares, generally, Mother makes them 3-inch squares. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts going